Right now I'm snapping pictures with my Android and cropping, which is time consuming, absolutely. So today would be a great day to have a windmill. It's pretty windy out there. Going into spring, we're getting a lot of wind lately and it's been howling at night. But today's special topic on postcards is windmills. Postcards with windmills on them. And I'm going to show you some of them and see if you can pick out the windmills. And we'll go through that and see what they're worth and what they sell for and what the sell-through rate is. Then I sold 6 cards on eBay. Yeah, only 6 cards. We'll go through those real quick. They're just standard cards, nothing really special today. And then I put a poll out there. Do you have business insurance? A lot of people send me questions about how do I insure my business? And I have a real easy answer to it, and I'll go over that in the poll section. And I always stick around at the end of the video. I always do viewer comments where I pick up 3 or 4 comments randomly. I just pick them randomly out of there. It looks interesting, I just grab it and we go over the comments and I'll let you know my opinion about them. And it's good for discussions. But let me get into what sold real quick, get those out of the way, and we'll get into windmills. So the first card I sold is a banner card of Jacksonville, Texas. Now remember Jacksonville. It's just a multi-view cowboy and the little kid by the sign. I've seen different ones on there. Just a banner card. I call these banner cards. They usually sell $4 to $5. It's just a unposted chrome card. And then I sold a print. And it's these prints right here that the club printed out. I didn't print them out, the club printed them out. And this is the USS Jacksonville, right there. Jacksonville. The other one was Jacksonville and this one. It's not the same person, and this is a submarine. And it's a color print. It's a kind of lighter cardstock, $4 to $5. And then I sold a doll. This is some kind of this Brew Joe doll, $4 to $5. These do sell, but they usually take a while to sell. Unposted chrome card, $4 to $5. And remember the other video, I sold a flag? Well, I sold this flag too. This is the original Star Spangled Banner flag. Right there. And it's in the Museum of History and Technology at the Smithsonian. So I sold that unposted, $4 to $5. So 2 flags in a week, not bad. And then this one is a inset, probably 1950s, 60s, Louisville, Mississippi. It's a chrome card. It's kind of like one of those series. I've seen that in the series and stuff like that. But Louisville, Mississippi, $4 to $5. And then this one came into Glacial Groves and Kelly's Island. And this sold for $6. It's a linen card of some grooves, glacial grooves. I guess the glaciers groove that. Unposted. So that sold for $6. So my total for today's video, I sold 6 cards on eBay. That's all I sell on is eBay now. For $30.44. I must have sent some offers or they got some discounts. And my average sale price is $5.07. Still over $5, up a little bit from last year. Not much. I'd like to see it go higher, but I didn't have a lot of high value cards today or stuff in there. Remember, I sell between divided back, chrome, and current. So I'm never going to be up in the $12 to $20 to $30 average sale price. It's going to be between $5 and $8, $5 and $7. My goal for the year, since I'm slowing down a little bit, is to sell $70 in sales a day. I'm above that for sure. To sell 14 cards a day to make that $70 with an average sale price, if you figure it out. I'm just about there. I'm at 13 cards year to date. So I'm 1 card away. I'm sure I'm going to exceed 14 by the end of the year. And my average sale price is moving up. So there's 3 things. Average sale price up, number of cards at 14 or above, and $70. And my whole business is based on $70. My expenses, my budget for everything is based. So if I do more than that, then I'm happy. If I do $70, I'm happy. If I do below that, I have a little cushion. But I know I can meet $70 a day easily, and I'm doing that now. So you always want to have reachable goals with sustainable and repeatable processes will get you there. One of the viewer comments, one of the bigger sellers actually put a comment in there about how much money he saved. And when we get into that, it's kind of like what I said in my goal video on cutting costs this year. You'll be able to see what he shared what he did, and it's excellent. Windmills, special topic. We see them all over the place. The older ones, the Dutch ones, and even the new wind turbines. When I worked for the company I worked for, we actually owned some of the bigger wind turbine places. I wasn't really involved with it, but they showed me some of the monitoring software. They actually used like Google, and they could see each one of the towers and see which way it's pointing and what speed and the whole works, and they can control it remotely. It had all these little dots on them like a Google map, and you can see exactly how the wind's blowing and stuff like that. But those are the wind turbines. Just a little wind turbine in your backyard could power your house if you can get enough wind. Wind is a good renewable energy that people are tapping in, but there's over 8,000 moving parts in one of those wind turbines. So the maintenance is probably getting up there, and those big graphite fins they have on there, at the tip of those fins, the speed is just amazing. So it is costly to do those, and hopefully the return's coming back. But like I said, I didn't get that much into the transmission part of the business, but I did see the IT part of it, the monitoring. And I thought it was pretty neat. But I'm going to give you some facts on windmills. I always learn something when I go out and grab different facts about these cards. And while I do that, I'm going to show you some postcards of windmills on them. Now take a look at the windmill in some of the cards. Some of them, they're not really prevalent or the main thing of the postcard. They might be just in the corner, and they still put a keyword in the title, windmill. So this is one place where you'd want to, if you're going after the collector that collects windmills, is make sure you have windmill in the title or somewhere that the search can pick that up if they search windmills. Just like people with lighthouses or post offices, you want to get the key thing in there. But if there is a windmill on there, you can always add that in. But here we go. A windmill is a device for tapping the energy of the wind by means of sails mounted on a rotating shaft. They call those fins like things sails because they catch the wind. The sails are mounted at an angle and are given a slight twist so that the force of the wind against them is divided into two components, one of which in the plane of the sails imparts rotation. So it's twisted a little bit so it rotates in the direction that they want. The windmill is an ancient creation. Persia and China were the first to develop windmills, and they have been around since 2000 BC. Europe was home to around 200,000 windmills during its popularity in the 18th and 19th century. The largest windmills on the planet were in the Netherlands. Most modern generations of windmills are more appropriately called wind turbines or wind generators, and are primarily used to generate electric power. Modern windmills are designed to convert the energy of the wind into electricity, and we see a lot of those along the roadways and the oceans. They're really doing more and more of that with solar and wind power. Windmills have long and rich history in many countries all around the world. The first windmill manufactured in the United States was designed by Daniel Halliday, who began inventing windmills in 1854 in his Connecticut machine shop. Now there's a book, Don Quixote, which helped cement the modern Spanish language and is regarded as one of the greatest works of fiction ever published. Features an iconic scene in which Don Quixote attacks windmills that he believes to be ferocious giants. And if you see the thumbnail that came with this video, that's Don Quixote on the donkey, and that's basically what the book is. Part of that book was in there, but that's Don Quixote. He used to attack the windmills because he thought they were giants. Now I found most common applications of windmills: pumping water. They're used for sawmilling of timber, milling grains, drainage and pumping, oil extraction from seeds, machining, and generating power. So basically, by harnessing the wind with a windmill, you can do some of the tasks that we'd have to do manually, and it would do it automatically. But those are facts about the windmills that I found that I thought were interesting, and they are collectible. People do collect windmills, like they collect lighthouses, churches, different things. So it's a niche out there. But we're going to see here in a second, what is the sell-through rate of the postcards going through eBay? Not the dollars. Average sale price is not tied to sell-through rate. It can be, but the way I do it, I just look at the number of cards that are passing through eBay. So I go out there and I typed in postcard space windmill. And this is what I ended up with. 203 are sold, and there's 4,800 titles with postcard space windmill out there. So there's 4,800. You times that by 100 to get a readable percent, makes it easier. 4%. I thought it was a little higher. So what you think and what you feel are two different things. I thought it'd be about 5 or 6 or 6 or 7, but this is at 4%. Then you take the postcards, and I try to map them up against other things of comparable. You don't want to put a postcard windmill, a windmill postcard up against a toaster, a DVD player, a pair of shoes. That there's different needs, different things. These are collectible. So I went out there and I looked at my little sheet. You can get this free on my Ko-Fi. Some people say, is it called coffee? I don't know. I think Ko-Fi sounds cool. Until someone tells me exactly what it's named, I call it Ko-Fi. That's a little place that has a little shop and place that it's like buy me a coffee site, the website, and I like it. It's easy to work with. I can put free stuff out there and not have to worry too much about it. But I have this for free out there. You go out to the link here or hit the QR code, and you can download this. It's a whole bunch of sell-through rates for postcards that I do exactly here. I took the solds and the listed numbers, and I give you a percent. So when you go out hunting for postcards, looking through those boxes or those baskets, stuff like that, you have a better idea of what to look for and pick up and make sure that you can sell them. You want some high sell-through rate cards. You don't want all low sell-through rate cards. They're just going to sit. So you're going to have some filler cards, some average ones, and then you're going to find the ones that move pretty quick. You want a good mixture is what I feel. So I went out there and I took postcard windmill with the 4% sell-through rate, and I bumped against postcard map, anything postcard with a map on it, 10%. Postcard golf, anything with golfing, stuff like that, 7%. Postcard Hollywood, that's Hollywood, California, 6%. And then postcard library, 5%. And still, windmills are at the bottom. So they're not the most big thing. If you look at these things, these are collectibles too, and this is at the bottom. So it's a below average card sell-through rate, and 4%. It's still there. It's not like QSL cards at 2%. But if you get a box of windmills, a box of postcards, and 30-40% are windmills, I wouldn't pay top dollar for those. And you know they're going to sit, and you know you're not going to be able to price them at the highest dollars that you want. So that's what this sell-through rate does. But some do sell for good money. Like right here, the extreme pricing. Pick two of them. This one sold for $70. It's a real photo postcard. And it's a nice windmill on there. So $70 for this RPPC card. Then the next one looks like a real photo as well. Where's the windmill? It's way in the back. About the left side, up in the top there, that's the little windmill. And they put that in the title. They put Street View. West Falls, New York. New York, Aurora, Windmill, 1909 postcard. So they put postcard at the end, and then windmill down at the end, and my query postcard space windmill still picked this up, and they sold it for $54 with shipping of $4. But that little windmill in the back. So is that what sold the car, or was it the town, or card? Is it the town or whatever? But I wouldn't even notice that windmill if it wasn't in the title. So you got two cards over $50 for the real photo postcards. So those are your extreme pricing of these. But then we get back down to earth. I found three of them here. $30, probably $25, $26, and $20. I don't even know that top one looks like a windmill. Let's see what that is. 1906 old mill at Windmill Point. So this is a mill at Windmill Point. So it's not just windmill. So if a collector wanted anything windmill, would they buy this card? That's why I left it in there. It didn't really look like a windmill. It's a mill on Windmill Point. Then you got a Dutch windmill. Dutch are really known for the windmills. And then the evening on a lovely Hold to the Light. So the bottom one is a Hold to the Light, and they got $20 for it. I think they could have went up and got a little bit more. Hold to the Lights can demand more money, but they did light the picture up behind her. It looks like a little bit. But a Hold to the Lights, HTL Hold to the Lights, you'll find those in the boxes, but sometimes you miss them because you don't see the little die cuts that the light goes through, and they are a little thicker. So if you ever think you gotta hold the light, you can feel it for the die cuts and look at it. It's a little thicker, and hold it up to the light, and you can see if you have one. But $20 isn't bad. There's really not a lot happening there. It's a picture, but it looks like it's in pretty good condition. So I would say they did pretty good with $20. I would have bumped it up a little bit more maybe. But they got what they needed, and good sale. Then you get into the so low, $1.49, $1.95, $3. The top two ain't making any money. The bottom one's making a little bit, and free shipping. So it's whatever they got in there. But all of these, I could have probably put $4 to $7 on them, $5 to $7 for sure. Especially the middle one kind of sticks out there. Those are those different colored ones. That's what's going to stick out on the page, a search page. You're going to gravitate to, your eyes are going to gravitate to stuff like that. And that's Arizona Desert. Desert sells. And there's a windmill there to the right. The bottom is like a windmill restaurant with some older cars. Those restaurant scenes, that's a $5, $6 card minimum to me. And then the top one is just look like a Dutch thing or whatever. Netherlands with a big windmill. But if people collect windmills, they pick that up. It might sit a little bit. It's 4% sell-through rate, but I think they could have got a few more dollars. Let's see what these people are listing these. And these aren't bad. These aren't really way up there like some of these other ones that we've seen. But I do question some of them, but I don't have any documentation to support what they're saying. But it could be something with the town, something with that windmill, or whatever, but there's a $30, $30, and $30. Top one looks like a chrome, middle one looks like a chrome, and the bottom is what they call a pennant card, postcard. That's what I call them. I consider them basically novelty cards as well. I think they're a little high on that one, unless that town is something special. Usually I sell the pennant cards like that. Doesn't look like a felt pennant. Looks like it's a printed on there. I had $7 to $12. So a little high on that one, I think, unless the town has something in there, and you gotta comp these out. But the top two look like normal chromes. I'm not for sure with a sell-through rate of 4%, and at $30, I think they're gonna sit a little bit. Then you get into listed low. What people are listing these $1.20, $1.99, and $1.75. These are all chrome cards. We know windmills are 4%. They're not low, but these people are by the time eBay fees and stuff, as we saw in the eBay calculator I did in one of the videos, it's tough to make money. You got to sell a lot of cards. So that's the pricing on windmills. And to sum up windmills, they're neat, they're cool, they're collected, but they're not the fastest movers. What I'm going to take out of this is I got to start putting windmill more often in my titles, because I think some of these cards sold because that. Oh, I just sold a postcard. I sold Postcard Upper Salmon Lake, Yuba area, California, $4.55. Better than nothing. Now I got 7 cards to pack out. I will start putting windmill in the title if I see one in the corner or something like that, because that's what I've seen by doing this video. I always try to pick something out to learn. And one of the things I need to get better with is a little bit more keywords, but I still want the titles to be readable English. I don't want just all keywords like car, tire, air, river, mountain. I want it to read and make it a sentence or something more than just keywords in there. That's how I want my titles to look. So windmill is one that I'm going to have on my mind now. Lighthouse, windmill. Put those in the title. Even at the end, I can grab maybe someone's attention that collects windmills. That's windmills. Wouldn't pass them up, but I'm not going to be just looking for windmills. RPPC windmills, yeah, but not just windmills. They're just not on the top of my list, but if I do see them in a box, I know what to do with them now. Who knows? Now every Saturday, and I've been putting out some extra polls during the week because I got some stuff I'm researching, and you'll see those pop up during the week that I'm trying to put together a video or something, or want to answer a question that somebody asked me, or my own personal question that I have out there. You'll see those pop up, or I'll do a card that I sold, like the Wigwam postcard. I just want everybody to know that, hey, if you see these, put them up for more money, because I got this out of it. And if you get any cards like that, you can always send it to me or contact SMPostcards.com, and I can put a community thing right up and say, hey, these things are selling for this. We all want to help each other to sell cards and be successful. So use me, use the channel to help watch what's out there, what people are getting, and if you sell something like that, share it back. So it's like giving back and forth is what I want to create with that. And it's no problem to put up one of these polls or whatever. It's real simple to put out there to do. It just takes a few minutes, but it's a good way for people to watch and learn. Hey, Wigwam, I just saw those the other day, or I put one up. I need to bump my money up. Mark said it's going up here, or Mark just put one up. Someone sold this Windmill postcard for $35. Let's look and see if we got one. I do that all the time. I'll search my store real quick, my inventory, and just see if I got something. But this poll I put out, and I didn't put the names on the comments because it gets in some numbers, how people run their business, and not personal, but it's just a question. Do you have business insurance? 10% said yes. 90% said no. And there were 72 people voted. And there was no others. Now, I'm from the business world. That's what I've done all my life for 40-some years. And I've seen the goods and bads of insurance. You can be an insurance poor. You can be the Chicken Little that runs around, back up all your stuff, worry about all that stuff. Instead of actually moving forward, it slows you down. But I do have business insurance. I have homeowners insurance that covers my home, my cars. I have water insurance for the basement because we have sub pumps. We pay the extra $15 a year or whatever in case the water ruins the hardwood floors or carpeting in the office and stuff like that. We paid a little extra, but we don't go above. We have house replacement, everything in the house and stuff like that. But my homeowner insurance did not cover my business, did not cover my inventory. It did not cover the boxes, the postcards, and it didn't cover my computer, didn't cover this camera, this light, all my equipment. None of that would have been covered because it's a business related. Now my laptop can be considered personal, but if you really look at it, if it is contested, this is business. If I'm filing my stuff for the Schedule C, I have a business. As postcards, they're going to say, "Hey, what's going on?" It could happen. If my house caught on fire, or we had a catastrophe, if something happened in the house and it ruined my stuff in here, I would have to replace the postcards and the equipment and everything for my business if I wanted to. What does that cost to replace? They're not going to. The postcards I have listed is over $500,000 on eBay. They're not going to give me my speculated listed cost. They're going to give me what I paid for them. So I have a number that I give my insurance agent. And we just sat down this last year and talked about the number. And I said, this is what I want if I lost my office, we lost the house, to get started again. Selling postcards would not be a priority. It would be getting my family back together, me and my wife, somewhere to live and rebuild the house and all that. So I don't think postcards would be on top of the thing, but if it's your full-time business, your income, you need to recover that while you rebuild. I'm not in that situation, but I can understand that if you're doing this full-time, you have a lot of inventory in your home, and you have a problem with your house, and you lose that, you have to go out and replace that. And if you don't have the insurance on it, to even get started, just enough to get started. I just have enough to get my computers back and some postcards to start if I wanted to. It doesn't cost much. It's less than $1 a day. And I pay mine once a year. It's a rider on my home insurance. It also covers if anybody comes in and say ransomware my computer and I can't do anything, or if I can't, there's a major outage, disruption insurance. I have that. I have a higher deductible because I figure it's more catastrophic than anything, but I can tell them what my sales would be, and then if it reaches over my deductible and it's worth putting in a claim, then I would get the money back. Very low risk. But it also covers if I do any shows, if I go to the flea market, anything at the flea market, if someone trips on something I have, a table, and falls, and liability, it covers that as well. And some places won't let you in unless you have insurance. I just go in to my insurance and I just print out a form and there's my insurance policy. So I've gotten into a lot of shows to sell before with the toys and stuff by having that, and other people didn't have that and stuff. But one of the biggest things that people don't remember or know of is when lawyers go to sue people and stuff like that, they will put everybody on the lawsuit, everybody. And you just need to get out of it. I don't know how to do all that, and you're going to have to pay someone to help, a lawyer, to get you out of it. You probably, like, so let's say I sell a Star Wars figure that has a lightsaber, and that lightsaber is one of the accessories, and it came off, and some kid got hurt from that little lightsaber. Well, the parents want to sue or whatever. They're going to go after Hasbro. They're going to go after that, eBay, me, the whole works. Well, that's all covered with the manufacturer more than anything. They're not going to get what they came out of me. They're going to go after the main one, but they're going to basically file against everybody. I just need a lawyer to get me out of that lawsuit, which is probably will happen. That can be tens of thousands of dollars to have a lawyer to go do all that. That's how I figure it. Now, I'm not playing Chicken Little here. If you don't have insurance, you don't feel you need it, don't get it. And you're going to see here in a couple comments why. But I feel more comfortable that way. I spent my lifetime building what I have. I'm not going to have one thing cause an issue to take that away from me. So I work too hard to get to where we're at, and I want to protect myself, and for less than $1 a day, I figure that's good. But I got some comments here, and it's just not me talking head. First comment is, I'm not sure what kind of insurance I could get for postcard selling. I have my inventory as part of my homeowner insurance. I don't think so, but I'm not an insurance guy, an expert. Talk to your insurance company if something happens to your house. But you might want to check that. Most of the time if it's business related, but if you're sole proprietor, I'm not for sure. So you want to check that. Insurance in case something happens, but that's about it. So check that your stuff, if you're running a business and you're licensed and stuff. I don't know what all the rules are about it, but I know mine was not. And the next comment was, now my inventory is getting larger. I'm thinking about getting some coverage. Yeah, if you put a lot of money out for your inventory and your equipment that you're doing this on, you want to have some coverage for catastrophic. It's like major medical insurance. You can go to the doctor and pay for it for the little sniffles and the urgent care, but if you have to have major surgery and you don't have any type of insurance, that can wipe someone out medically. You'd have to, it's horrendous, the charges. So you just want to kind of cover yourself, but you don't want to be insurance poor either. So the next comment was, this is kind of funny, I put this one in here. My plan is to claim I'm a hoarder collector in the event something happens. Kidding. To me, it's only stuff with minimal investment. And this is from a real life experience. So I don't want to say you have to have it, that thing's going to run, you need to back all your stuff up and do all this stuff. I'm just saying, I wanted to put this out there to let people know there's an option to make you feel covered. But you don't want to, if you're not making a lot of sales, you don't want to cover it. But I got 100,000, quantity of 100,000 postcards here. It doesn't make sense not to do it for me. He was just kidding about the top thing. To me, it's only stuff with minimal investment. Having lost 90% of our personal possessions in our home to a flood in 2012. I never went through that situation, and I hope I never have to. I've seen people with tornadoes here, and sure, their house got snapped and they think they can go get their clothes, but what they found is all the insulation got into the clothes, so you can't wear them. They lost everything. All that stuff and dirt and water, it's just horrendous for families. It puts into perspective what really matters. I've rebuilt before, I can do it again if needed. As far as liability protection from buyer lawsuits, they sell low-risk items, leaving me with low-risk potential being sued. Absolutely. Postcards are very low risk. No one's really going to get hurt with a postcard and stuff like that. So I think the liability won't be there if you just sell postcards. But if you sell other things that plug in and stuff like that, there could be a liability, but very low risk. Even at the flea market and stuff like that. But I kind of liked it that I could use that there. It's a low risk thing selling post. I just said, it doesn't make sense. I got all this money tied up here over these years. And I got some equipment. I can replace all this. It's material, like he said, it's material. As long as me and my wife and the family's safe, I'm good. Think about it. Talk to your homeowner. There's always riders they can put on there and stuff like that. They'll ask you some questions like, do you make your own products and stuff like that? But I pay less than $1 a day, and I pay it once a year. That's business insurance. It's something else to think about as you move forward, as you grow your business, how to cover it, especially if you do this full time and you rely on the income. You got to have some kind of disruption service. Now we're going to get into viewer comments. Now remember, if you put a comment out on YouTube, I consider it public and I might grab it. If you send me an email and you don't say anything about putting it out there, most of the time I won't put it out there with a name or anything like that. But YouTube, I figured everybody's seeing it anyway. But the first one, I did a video starting the year, how I was slowing down, cutting expenses, and I had some goals I wanted to hit this year. I'm up to about $3,200 in savings that I found just from first quarter doing things. As more I got into it, I find more little things, and it's all added up over $3,000 savings for the year. And that helps with cash flow. I'm not putting out $30 here, $20 here, $10 here. I'm seeing now going into second quarter the time savings by going just to eBay and getting rid of some of the bigger stuff, and also the money that's in the bank account at the bottom line. It's not going out as fast as it's coming in. So at first quarter, it took me a while to get there, but second, third, and fourth quarter, I'm really going to start seeing all the savings and the time savings that I wanted. It took a little bit of work. It took me a while. But Pudding's Postcards, I've cut about $750 off my expenses this year. $750. That's amazing. He ditched some subscriptions, and he also paid for 1 year of WorthPoint instead of monthly for a discount. I'm thinking about that. I'm not on the fence with WorthPoint. I like it, and you use what you like, but I'm gonna use it up to June, July, probably August, and then I might pull a trigger on the year thing just to get that savings for the year like Puddings did here. But I'm gonna play with it a little bit more. So we got the discount by paying by the year. When you pay by the year, a lot of these subscriptions, you can get a month or two paid what it would cost savings on there. Now focusing on cutting sourcing cost. Focus on better items and buying postcards from Popeyes for states or topics I only have a few of. He's talking about Popeye. Popeye does a whatnot auction Tuesdays and Saturdays, I think. You can get some good deals. He sells them by the pound or 100 lots and stuff like that, and you can get some pretty good deals there. I just bought a pack last week, and I think they're in my P.O. box today, and it was a good deal. I saw about 10 cards in there that'll pay for everything, and there's over, I don't know, 50 to 100 cards in there. But so Pudding wants to find better cards, faster sell-through rate, and stuff like that. So he wants states or topics I only have a few of, or I know sell very fast and have repeat customers for them. I have also started charging for eBay standard envelope. That's adding about $200 a month in revenue. Yeah, so if you want to do little things like start charging for the 67 cents or 60 cents for the mailing on there, like he said, that's $200 a month that he added to it. Now, sometimes if you price things too high, then your sales drop a little bit. But it sounds like he did it successfully. So this is a good thing to think about, is I need to bring another 10 cents a card in, or another 60 cents a card to pay for my envelopes, because those envelopes are 14 to 20 cents can be. Where do you need to add that? Are you really making money and stuff? So Puddings, I commend you. You did a great job with that. $750, awesome. Next year I'm gonna struggle trying to save some expenses, because I did so much this year. So I'm starting to think about next year. What can I save next year? Always try to save something that you're spending, because things add up over time and that. But great job, Puddings. And thanks for sharing. If anybody else has stuff out there that they've cut out that could save people money, because it all goes to the bottom line basically. Now Brian came in and said, always enjoy your videos. Thank you. Right now I'm snapping pictures with my Android and cropping, which is time consuming. Absolutely. Now he knows the pain. He's feeling it because he says this. Right now I'm looking to upgrade to a scanner. Yes, taking that leap. Would the Epson 580 work well for scanning postcards? Or which one would you recommend? Yes, the 580 is the newest one out there from Epson. I think it's got the touchscreen, it's wireless, it's duplex. So you want a duplex scanner, like the Epson 580. I have a 400 here, but the 580 is the newest one, it's wireless. And I think they make a wired one too that doesn't have the touchscreen. You'd have to go out and look at it. Definitely, it will save you time. If you're going to get into selling postcards and you're going to do a little bit of quantity, it is a good investment. I think they run $300 to $400, somewhere in the middle there, I think, for this scanner. I haven't looked. I'll pop a picture up here of the Amazon thing and stuff on there, but you can find them on Amazon or different places. But definitely, a lot of people start, and I always say use what you got. So if you want to use your camera, a flatbed scanner, until you see if you're going to really want to do this, give it 6 months and then start saving up for a scanner like Brian did. It just saves so much time. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm never going to use a scanner, but when they get one they say, oh, how did I do this before? It's just like the thermal printer with the labels. They print them out and cut them for years and tape them on a box, and all of a sudden they get a thermal printer and they figure out how to use it, and they go, well, why didn't I do this before? There's certain things that people need to be humble about, and if everybody's using them, take a look at it. You don't put your feet in the ground. You can change. Everybody likes to see people change because it makes them feel better too that they can change. So Brian's going to take a look at that. Let us know, Brian, how it works out. That's on my list for this year, is to get one of these 580 new Epson wireless ones. My Fujitsu one is wireless, but I like the way the Epson works with the software and stuff. The Fujitsu has some really cool software. I want to use the Epson, but my other one's wired, and instead of buying a cable to go all the way to this computer, I'm just going to get a wireless one. So I'm kind of using what I got. So the new scanner for me is a want, not a need. And this year is all about cost cutting for me. I put a little bit away every month to buy my scanner. I don't need it. I have 3 other scanners I can use, and that works. But for convenience and going with the next biggest thing, it's a want. So if I do really good this year, you're going to see a video about a new scanner setup. If I'm just maintaining, you won't see the scanner this year, because it's a want, not a need. Thanks, Brian, for sharing, and let us know how it goes. Molly Rawls. I tried to sell a Thanksgiving postcard with a wishbone border. Now this goes to the video here I did a long time ago, a year and a half ago or so, about 5 postcards I would not list on eBay. And those cards there are the ones that got taken down on me, or I know not to put them up. And to me, as I said it before, I don't come close to any of these things. If there's any question about anything, I don't do it. I am so far away from the edge, I will never fall off. I stay away. I'm not going to go to battle about one postcard just because someone else has it. I'm not a martyr. I don't want any problems. But Molly Rawls says she tried to sell a Thanksgiving postcard with a wishbone border. And I believe the word bone or wishbone was the key word that violated eBay's wildlife protection policy. So they have a wildlife protection policy. Because I got a do not list notification. Yeah, those are great to get. Believing that my postcard isn't a threat to animals at all. I just deleted the word wishbone from everywhere in the listing, and it listed fine. So you want to be careful. Watch the YouTube channels. Look at the community. Watch these comments here in this channel. Different things you can't use. Velcro, Lego, beach body, onesie. All these different words out there are how to list things. Ivory you can't list. There's a thing out there about babies and small kids. You know, the war symbol from Germany. There's some stuff about some Confederate stuff. So there's a lot of stuff to cover. and you just can't know everything. So if you get one of these, just follow the rules. Is what I recommend. Just don't play with it. He went in there and he figured it out, and it listed, and it's fine. But you can get spanked or slapped from eBay if you keep relisting things. So be careful when you're typing the words in. And people can read the postcard, so you don't need to put it in the title. But I stay away from all that stuff. I very rarely get in there. And when I was on Etsy, they smacked me with the same stuff too. So they have the rules across, but they can't cover everything. And you don't want to watch just eBay for the bots and what they do. It's other sellers will report you as well, or other people can hit that report button. And once they do that, that gets flagged and someone will go look at your listing, or the bot will, and take it down. Just be careful with all that stuff. You don't want to hurt your health at the store, or get suspended just for one card or something like that. Fight the bigger battles. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.